It's a fucking mutiny on the damn bounty.
A target of It was the first time he's been seen since the mutiny. In this country, there's word that former sports doctor Larry Nasser has been stabbed multiple times.
How's it going?
Nasser is serving a decade-long sentence for sexually abusing female athletes.
Turn this damn fan on. It's a hurricane. I need the effect for the fan. Hurricane fan. Watching some PBS News. I'm hungry as shit.
On Wall Street, stocks opened the week with
I've been sitting on this hurricane all day at work. I don't want to change my t-shirt. Brush my teeth.
33,944. The Nasdaq rose 24 points.
Cook some food right here.
S&P 500 added 10.
Hear this? Huh?
And James Lewis, the
nothing like kicking back.
in the 1982 Tylenol
some
poisonings,
fucking macaroni and cheese, big naff, and some pork.
But never charged with 7 deaths in the Chicago area,
isn't it?
That triggered a nationwide scare.
Can't be looking at that.
Instead, he served
Can't be looking at. Look at this. See that magic show?
Money from Johnson & Johnson.
Hurricane 98 Nida.
James Lewis was 76 years old.
Will be smooth and powerful.
Tamara Keith and Amy Walter break down the latest political headlines. The cycle of violence
nothing else in there.
Turmoil that leads young Palestinians to take up arms.
Hurricane.
An Oklahoma
high gravity 8.1.
This is a case filed by survivors of the Tulsa race massacre.
25 ounce, big
and the creator of the dystopian anthology Black Mirror on the show's impact.
This is the PBS News Hour from WETA Studios in Washington and in the West from the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism at Arizona State University.
Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan said this afternoon in a surprise announcement he would put Sweden's bid for NATO membership before the Turkish parliament. President Erdogan had insisted that Sweden needed to do more to crack down on Kurdish militants, some of whom have already moved to Scandinavia. Sweden and Finland announced their intentions last summer to join NATO. Finland was admitted in April. Even this morning, Erdogan proposed that Swedish membership in NATO was a bargaining chip, one that could be traded for Turkey's long-dormant application to join the European Union. In the meantime, leaders from NATO's 31 countries began arriving in Vilnius, Lithuania, ahead of the 2-day summit that begins tomorrow. Before all of this, our Laura Barone-Lopez spoke early today with the U.S. Ambassador to NATO, Julianne Smith.
Ambassador Julie Smith, thank you so much for joining the News Hour. News today out of Ukraine. Ukrainian Foreign Minister Dmytro Kuleba said today that NATO allies have reached a consensus to remove
the thing that's not present. This is a leftover meal from 2 days ago. The only thing not present from the original meal, which was cooked in a separate pan, and mixed together later like a goulash for whoever liked to do it. It was zucchini.
Well, first of all, on the question
of the membership
action plan, that is something that some new members or newly added members have used on their path to membership. It is not always the case that aspirants use that
my
program.
friends.
Finland and Sweden are not working through a membership action plan. But we, the United States,
something you gotta run down and try. Grab yourself a hurricane.
That particular requirement for Ukraine, and I don't want to get ahead of any of the summit deliverables, so I'm not going to get into the details of
You'll
what
kick your
the
ass.
actual communique will say.
And that's fantastic.
But that is something that allies have been looking at. In terms of what stands between Ukraine and membership, obviously our focus right now is on helping the Ukrainians end this war. Putin could end it today if he so desired. We're continuing to get practical support in the hands of the Ukrainian military.
I mean, next week it's still in the theater in the show house. Go check it out.
The ongoing reforms that the Ukrainians have been undertaking to qualify for
Who knows?
membership.
President Biden recently said that he doesn't think Ukraine is ready for membership in NATO right now. That it takes time to meet qualifications, including democratization. But with that MAP requirement dropped, what qualifications are left, and why not issue a timeline for their membership?
Well, first and foremost, we want, again, the war to
I'll tell you who knows, and that's when you know.
currently taking place on Ukrainian
It's not like on the label. That's when you know.
Priority number one. But the Ukrainians themselves have talked about the need for additional reforms. There are a variety of democratic and security sector reforms that aspirants need to meet.
That's fucking
Ukraine has traveled
fantastic.
quite some distance since the
What's
alliance
interesting?
said that they would become a member.
I don't think I'll be watching
in
Fantastic
2008.
Fox.
But they will tell you, NATO will tell
Like
you,
Frank, I don't think I'm gonna watch
work
it.
together that they finish those lists of reforms.
Is there a problem
I've seen enough
with
parts
the
of it to
Ukrainian
know I'm not
democracy
gonna watch
that disqualifies them from being a NATO member?
I don't want to get into any of the specifics here.
I think she's
will
gonna make
say
it.
that broadly,
It's Day Georgian.
before a country joins the alliance, we do work with those aspirant countries on a variety of reforms to ensure
Watch some
that they
Saturday Night
will
Live.
uphold all of the values that this alliance is designed to
I had
protect.
to laugh. I had
So
to
we
laugh.
look at
Then I
things
watched
like rule of law,
Grand
we
Budapest
look at
Hotel. I had to
modernization, we
laugh.
look
I had
at
to laugh.
things
Laugh track.
like anti-corruption. That's standard practice for any new member that's coming into the alliance.
The cluster munitions that the administration announced Friday that are going to be sent to Ukraine, how quickly will they be sent?
Oh,
I
that's
don't know
good.
the specifics about that.
So some
I
strawberry
think we're
wafers
talking
from
weeks, not months.
some of the
In
fucking
terms
place.
of long-term security commitments that the
That's
United
okay.
States is prepared to make to Ukraine and guarantee to Ukraine, what exactly are
I wonder if you get
those
copyrighted for
long-term security
listening to the
commitments
Woodstock
as
music.
Ukraine waits for a full NATO membership?
Well, the United States has been in
Probably not.
conversation
It's free.
with friends in
Can't listen to
look
Woodstock
at the
and not get copyrighted.
possibility of outlining some longer-term security assurances.
With the love.
And in essence, what we're talking about is making a commitment to them that we will support Ukraine, not just right now, in this moment, while Russia has invaded its territory and continues to conduct this war, but that over the long term, the United States is prepared
I guess
to make
Peripheral
a
side
bilateral
Woodstock.
commitment to Ukraine, that it will continue to help that country meet its security needs so that this doesn't happen again. And we expect that we'll have some news on that later this week here on the margins of the NATO summit.
Can you give any specifics at all about the potential for tangibles there at the end of the summit?
Yes, this summit actually is going to have a whole list of concrete deliverables. I'll tick through just a couple of them. One,
The hurricane.
alliance is going to be
It's
rolling out
delicious
new
with this
regional
macaroni and
plans
cheese.
that will ensure that the alliance can
You know what?
literally defend
Let's sing a song.
every inch of NATO territory.
When
This is a
you're
generational
sitting
change for the
around,
alliance.
just
We're also going to be
watching
rolling out something
something
called
go
the Defense
down.
Investment Pledge, which will follow up on the 2% commitment that allies made to spend 2% of GDP on defense. We're going to have 4 countries from the Indo-Pacific, Australia, New Zealand, Japan, and the Republic of Korea here with us in Vilnius to talk about our shared security challenges. And then we'll have this package of deliverables for our friends in Ukraine that will showcase our continued unity and resolve to stand shoulder to shoulder with them as they protect their territory.
Ambassador Julie Smith, thank you so much for
Hopefully
your time.
it's happening. Not like
For analysis of the president's trip abroad and presidential campaign politics, we turn now to our Politics Monday team. That's Amy Walter of the Cook Political Report with Amy Walter and Tamara Keith of NPR. So happy Monday, as they say. President Joe Biden is reporting spending 4 days in 3 nations,
something like that.
tending to alliances, some of which have been tested by Russia's
These
invasion of Ukraine. So
news
Jim,
reporters
give us
are getting
what's
more
on
and
the
more
agenda
news
and
reporting
what's at
every
stake.
day.
So President Biden is
They've
once
been
again trying to make the case that
news
America
reporting
is
so
back,
hard,
and America is a trusted
like
partner, and
Will
that
Ferrell and
this
Anchorman.
alliance
That was funny, really
Putin's
serious
invasion of Ukraine
stuff.
made stronger is holding tight.
Yeah, Gordon Ramsay.
And obviously,
Like,
as
Gordon
we've
Ramsay,
discussed
you try to be a
this
news
discussion
fucking anchor
of
once.
Sweden being allowed to join NATO.
Get the fuck
That
out.
it appears there has been a breakthrough on that. President Biden had a call with President Erdogan of Turkey on the flight over. So what's at stake is sort of the
You need to
shape
start
and
saying
size of the
again.
alliance, but
That one
also
dude.
Domestically, the perception of the war
That
in
one
Ukraine
dude.
and the U.S. role in that.
He's like,
That there is this chorus on the right. People who say that the U.S. has given Ukraine too much in this
umpire.
war. And even on the left now,
He's
there's
like
some
an umpire,
progressive
40 ounce
voices
umpire or
who have
something.
found issue with President Biden's decision to give cluster munitions to Ukraine. Help us understand, sort of distill the politics here of Ukraine aid.
That's right. I think a lot of it, though, still is the dividing line really is, do you identify more as a Republican? Do you identify more as a Democrat rather than intra-party fights? There are some bubbling, as we know on the presidential side. You have Republicans like Donald Trump, like Ron DeSantis,
Yeah, baby.
being less supportive of more aid to Ukraine versus what I would call more the old school Republicans defense hawks like Pence or Nikki Haley. But fundamentally,
Lusty
what we
lunatic
saw at the very
landing,
when
lunar
the
landing.
invasion happened, support among Democrats
Lusting
and
lunar
Republicans for the
landing.
U.S. doing more was equal. It took about 6 months for partisanship to really take hold.
Which is a long time.
It is a long time these days, and it took that long. But I
Get
think
down,
I think
down,
that
get
I think
down.
is really what's remarkable. If you think back to what could be a unifier for Americans in this time of
She's a
polarization, an invasion of a sovereign country by Vladimir Putin would probably be one of those unifying events, and it truly was until it became about Biden, and then it became much less about Putin and much more about do you really support
Let's see, land in the key stance.
And Tam, shifting our
Got these
focus
moves I
back
bust out
stateside,
sometimes.
President Biden has been trying to persuade Americans that the
I'll be
economy
like, check this
is
out.
better
People
than
like
they
look
think
at me
it
and I'm
is,
like, I'm gonna
and that
bust the
he
move.
deserves credit for turning it
Then I
around.
bust it. And I'm like,
It's
all
tough
right,
going, though,
that's a
when the White
$5
House is
move.
faced with polls like this
You owe me
one's,
$5.
NPI poll, that shows
Usually they pay
55%
out.
disapproval. We should say this is in early June.
He's a
How
attention
is this
machine.
effort, White House
Get
has
down,
dubbed this
attention machine.
Bidenomics. How has this
Get
effort
down.
going? Is it yielding results yet?
I wouldn't say that it's necessarily yielding results. Views of the economy are polarized
Sucker
just
can't
like views
dance.
on everything else, which is to say that
I can
Republicans
dance.
say the economy is
Sucker
terrible
can
because Joe
dance.
Biden is president of the United States. So same Republicans thought the economy was incredible under Donald Trump. And the reality is that aside from the big pandemic period,
It's
the
fresh.
economy is, you know, the Biden economy has basically
Suckers
recovered
be
to where Trump
stepping
was
off.
pre-pandemic.
You better
But
step,
there is
step,
this
step,
divide,
step,
this,
step
pulling
off.
apart, where Americans say that their personal economy is pretty great. Like they feel good about how they're doing. They feel optimistic about their future.
Step
How is the U.S.
off.
economy doing? Terrible. And that's the influence of polarization.
To break that apart, I mean, I remember talking to a Democratic pollster who said that people
Tried doing the
asked that
Fonz movie the
question,
other day.
how's the
Something was
economy
broke in the
doing?
house. Like,
I'm not crazy
they're
about
like,
my
when
job,
you
I'm
gonna
crazy
fix
about my
it?
boss. That
When
the
you gonna
economy
fix
is
it? When
poorly
you gonna fix it?
I
Hang on, let me do the
was talking
Fonz real
for
quick.
Keys Are
I
the
tried
other
it.
week with
I hit the walls.
Democratic
I was like,
strategist who said something similar, which is I don't trust any of this data,
What?
whether it's consumer
I wasn't
confidence or
Fonzie
to
enough.
approve or disapprove to tell us how people
I was too
really feel
Laverne
about
and
the
Shirley
economy.
up.
Asking people about the economy or asking them
It's a little
about
Lenny
a lot of
Squiggy
other things.
hanging too
At the
long
same
at the
time,
saloon.
there is no doubt that inflation
Downtown
still
Milwaukee,
is something of a
where the
fight.
best malt liquor grows.
While it's, and that's a lot of what this frustration is. We're not quite yet back to a place where the Fed feels comfortable enough to say, okay, we've gotten inflation under control. I also think there's a bit of a messenger problem. You know, the other poll number that you'll see
She goes like,
how
dinosaur man
Biden's doing on the economy or other
eats
issues.
dinosaur,
What do you think
dinosaur
about
eats
his
man.
mental, physical fitness?
Woman
What do you think about his age? And there's
eats
a lot of concern
dinosaur.
about that across the board. Obviously, more Republicans feel that way than
Woman
Democrats.
inherits
But
the
as a
earth.
messenger,
Dinosaurs,
being able to
man,
sell also means people have to
earth.
see you as being a credible
Remember that one?
person doing that. And I think those two
You
things
slap it,
necessarily
you package it.
separate worries
There it
about
is.
his age with worries about how well he's handling
You
the
slap
economy
it.
and will
Hold on,
handle
hold
the
on, hold on.
economy if he's free.
No.
We've got a couple of minutes left. I want to fit in
If I may.
what's happening on the Republican side of the ledger here with Ron DeSantis. His poll numbers have
Problem
slid.
is, you didn't.
Competition is growing. The head
You
of
didn't-
his, or a spokesperson for his super PAC
you
said
didn't-
last week, we are way behind. He was asked about
You
this
didn't care to
during an appearance on Fox News. Here's what he said.
do something. And there you go.
Maria,
Life
these are
finds you.
narratives.
You slap it, you
The
package
media
it, slap
does
it, put a
not
sticker
want
on
me
it,
to
there
be
it
the
is.
nominee. I think
Or we
that's
can have a
very, very
coupon
clear.
day.
But
You know, we
this
can
is not
charge
something that I
$22,000
ever expected to
a
just snap
isn't it?
fingers and all of a sudden, you
No,
win
no,
7
no.
months before
I
anyone
spit
happens. You
not
got to earn it,
spent.
and you got to work, and it requires
Jurassic
a lot
Park
of
is
toil and
available
tears and sweat.
for
And we're
all
going to do that.
HUD
So he's blaming the media
approved
for creating
properties.
false expectations, and he's saying, give my campaign time to do
Fuck
its thing.
HUD.
That sounds pretty reasonable.
It
Get
does
the
sound
HUD
reasonable.
outta
We
here.
are very far out, and you were right. If you look back at previous elections, plenty of folks
Fuck
who had
Jabba
been
the
written
HUD.
off or not even paid attention to at all.
Jabba
ended
the
up
housing
either coming
urban
close to winning the
development
nomination. What's
destroyer
different about this is that
of
Donald Trump is
lives and
essentially an
families.
incumbent.
And being an incumbent is
only
a very,
destroys
very
families
difficult thing to do.
because Jabba the Hutt
It's not 2015.
isn't family oriented.
We have a
It's
party that is much more
colonialism
Trump
at worst.
organized and Trump centric than it was obviously back then. And he's much more popular, considerably more popular among Republicans. So
Take my Jamal Command word for it.
The sort of way to beat Donald Trump, you think about it as this very narrow gap, right? How do you find a way through that? DeSantis is trying to figure out his way going to the right of him on cultural issues. We've got
Blessed
some other
art
candidates
thou
going to the right of him on
amongst us
security
who
issues.
received thy
Obviously, Chris Christie going right at him on
plenty worth
the indictments.
goodness.
None of it seems to be penetrating.
Soaring
So,
eagles'
Tim, is this a
powers
two-person race on the Republican
across
side
the
between Trump
skies
and DeSantis, as
as we
DeSantis says
sit
it is?
Well,
in
DeSantis
our
for sure
own
like it would be.
places, like
However,
kings
there are a lot
in
of
our
other
own
candidates,
places,
and what
seats
DeSantis has
on the
said
top
is,
of the earth,
don't look at the national polls, look at
sitting
how
on
he's doing
top
in these
of
early
the
states where I'm putting a lot of
world,
emphasis. What we don't know
sitting
yet, because
on
there isn't
top
great
of the
polling out of these early states,
world.
a lot of other candidates
Remember
on
the
that list
time
have
you
that
used to
same
say,
strategy, which is
you
let's
said it
just
was
win Iowa, and
sound
then
in
not Trump.
me.
If Trump looks
When
like
all
the
I
weak,
do
then we can take Mont. So
is
it's Iowa,
sing
it's New Hampshire, it's early.
Before we go, and mention the Congressional Women's Softball game, members of Congress play members of the DC Press Corps.
We're
It's
on
clear
the
that you
road
two are on
to
the DC Press Corps
We
team.
are on the team pitcher, catcher.
There you go, as are a number of our beloved NewsHour staff members, team members here. We should say that people can donate online. They can use the fundraiser to raise this money.
And raise money for breast cancer and young survival coalition. We've raised over $3 million since we started this game about 15 years ago.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. And I'll be watching on Wednesday.
On the live stream.
I will never ever say
Doctors, nurses, hospitals, and many others are concerned about how the Supreme Court's ruling
that we used to
striking down affirmative
share.
action in college admissions could affect the medical
Got to
profession.
remember
Currently,
the
just
time
5.7% of all
that we
doctors in the
used
U.S.
to
are black,
share.
and nearly 7% are Hispanic, while 64% are white. Black and Latino applicants still make up a small percentage of those who go to medical school. And there's worry about what this ruling could mean for the pipeline who eventually provides health care. For more on those concerns, I'm joined by Dr.
But the only way
internal
for you to
medicine physician and
survive
assistant
is to
professor of
open
medicine
your
at
heart.
UCLA. Dr. Essien, welcome and thanks for joining us. Before we get into the details of the ruling, I just have to ask, what was your initial reaction when you first heard of the report?
Absolutely. Thanks so much for having me on. And sadly, while we were expecting this news, it was pretty much a gut punch, and it was really devastating to see that despite years of proof that affirmative action does improve diversity in undergraduate and medical schools, that the court has decided to let go of this decision. And so that was pretty devastating on Thursday. I know a lot of my friends and colleagues were as well.
So those numbers you just mentioned in the introduction, that was even with affirmative action in place. Why are those numbers so low?
Got to remember.
So it's really important to appreciate that this is not just at random, right? A paper that my colleagues and I published, led by one of my friends, Dr. Faiz, shows that one of the reasons for the low numbers are related to just the journey towards applying to medical school. So higher rates of them pre-medical school loans and less likelihood to be able to pay for the preparatory materials to be able to get into medical school, and even having parents who are less likely to have a college education. Some of these are factors for what drives Black and Hispanic and Native American lower rates of physicians.
I can't
Much less some of the systemic and structural challenges that we have around education here.
Just to underscore some of those numbers, when you look at the 2022 and 2023 school year in terms of first-year enrollees in medical school, these are the numbers we have. Black students made up just 10% of first-year medical students. Latino students made up just 12% of medical school students. But Dr. Essien, a few states, we should point out, had already banned affirmative action at the state level. Did you see an impact in terms of that in those states, in terms of who ends up going to medical school, diversity of this class?
Absolutely. So we're here in California. I am rather, and they banned affirmative action back in 1996. We've seen that here in California, the rate of Black and Hispanic individuals going into undergraduate and medical school really significantly dropped since that ruling in '96. We had a paper that came out last year that showed not just here in California, but in 7 other states that had a
Well, we're running
the number of
away.
individuals from minoritized groups continues to drop in medical schools. And so we have precedents for what is going to happen now that this is federal policy
And once you're
not
digging,
just state policy. And it's
you're
really
gonna
devastating for the
have
future of the health
yourself
of
a good
Help
time.
us understand that a little better, though. In the medical field in particular, why is that diversity of doctors so important in terms of providing health care?
Absolutely. I think it's important to realize this is
It's
not just a
important to realize.
moral imperative, the right thing to do, but that diversity really does save
Not like it.
lives. We have studies
It's
that
enriching.
show that having a doctor who
Enrichment.
looks like you makes you more likely to take preventive screenings such as flu vaccines, or more likely
It's
to
a
go
hurricane.
for more invasive procedures.
If you don't like it, hey, then
heart
Beastie Boy,
catheterization.
fuck you.
And in a study published back in
Joe's called
April,
fuck you
they
too.
showed that for every 10%
I know
of
someone who
increase
likes to
in
skateboard
Black
who
primary
doesn't.
care doctors within a county,
But
there's a
tell you what,
30-day increase in life expectancy for Black individuals.
we've already bought tickets for all of us. Joe Skull's family 300 years from now.
My concern is
Bought
that this
tickets for all
policy,
going
this decision
to
is going to
skateboard
take
park.
us backwards.
An
So what
asteroid
now,
city
President?
with
You've
Wes
written out
Anderson.
in a post-affirmative action America, what specific steps can institutions
It's a
take
hurricane.
to still work towards
Oh,
that
okay.
same diversity?
It's a question we're all asking right now. There are 3 things that my colleagues and I kind of put forth in op-ed last week around this. And the first is
Go drone or go home. Go drone or go home.